For cyclists, core strength can feel like the holy grail and it can be elusive. It's common advice: strengthen your core for performance purposes, to treat an injury, and everything in between. But what if I told you your core may not actually be weak, and it's a matter of using what you've got for better mechanics so that you can put out power more effectively and you can distribute force so that it's not all landing on the low back, landing in your knees, landing in your hips, wherever the problem is at. I'm not only going to tell you about this, I'm going to show you as well. So what I'll do is I'll pull it up on my phone. This is the exact footage I'm going to put on the screen, and we'll go through it together. I've had people in my Instagram DMs tell me that this advice simply from Instagram Reels. I've never talked to these people. I have not worked with them. This advice has helped them overcome a back pain problem. It's that powerful. If you find that core strengthening is effective for you, by all means, keep doing it. I'm not suggesting you don't need it. In fact, my number one rule is that if something works, you should keep doing it. That said, this will help make that more powerful. And if you do have a problem being comfortable in the saddle with back pain, knee pain, hip pain, whatever, power balance problems, and you've been working core strength and glute activation, but it's not carrying over to the bike, this video is going to be gold for you. Now, I believe two things very strongly about position on the bike. And I'm not trying to convince you of anything here. This is perspective that I've gained from 13 years as a physical therapist, studying mechanics, working with 10,000 people with back pain, and working with hundreds of cyclists with back pain problems, not only to get rid of the pain, but to improve their power, to improve their comfort on the bike. We've got to have open hips at the top of the pedal stroke. That is number one. Number 1A, or you could say number 2, is that we need the spine in a strong position to distribute force well. What does it mean to distribute force? It means that the body is working together. The restriction in the hips doesn't land force in the low back as we pedal in a way that the back can't handle. When you distribute force well, pedaling feels good, riding feels good, climbing, hard rides, long rides, whatever. You're not having persistent pain problems. When that's the case, you know you're distributing force pretty well. So when I say we need open hips at the top of the pedal stroke, the way that we get that is with a backward tilt of the pelvis, and we round the back. Not necessarily as far as you possibly could. We don't want to put extra strain on the back, but that opens the hips. When we tilt the pelvis forward, it closes down that hip angle, makes it hard to clear the top of the pedal stroke, and that flatter back position takes a lot of side to side and twisting motion as we pedal, and it can cause problems for the low back. It's a common issue when we say we're not distributing force well, we're landing all the stress in the low back. Those two things are common: forward tilt to the pelvis, flattened spine. We need the right amount of backward tilt to open those hips. And here's what I'm going to show you. The engagement of your core, it's going to happen automatically when you do this right. And that's what we want, because we can't be bracing our abs the entire ride. You will shut down effective motion from the hips. You're going to bleed power, and it's not going to feel very good. So let's dive into it. So we can see as I go pedaling here, I've got this backward tilt, and you can see that ab engagement here, right? And we're wide open through the hips. I'm clearing the top of the pedal stroke really nicely here. Now, when I do the opposite of that, and I go ahead and I flip that pelvis forward, you see I lose my core engagement. My tummy goes soft. You can't see the obliques anymore. And you're going to see me bouncing around quite a bit because I'm hitting the top of my hip range of motion, hip joint motion, at the top of each pedal stroke. And so that's where we could say, all right, the core has left the chat a little bit. Not because I'm not controlling it consciously, but because my position is not enabling those muscles to do what they're supposed to do. Here's what it would look like if I tried to manipulate it in this forward tilted flat back position. So I'm like sucking it in here, but you can still see that engagement isn't authentic. It's not happening automatically. And if I do that too hard, if I'm riding really hard, if I'm climbing, maybe if I'm tired at the end of the long ride, you're going to see that that's going to result in my hips just bouncing all over the place. And I can't really breathe because I'm tying down my diaphragm, I'm tying down my rib cage. Now, if we contrast that and bring it back to this backward tilted position, finding that sweet spot for you. So that's sit bones coming back to the saddle. You might scoot forward on the saddle a little bit. That's perfectly fine. We can see that engagement comes right back online. And so this is something where you can do this today or tomorrow on the bike, and it's going to be helpful. Now, do you need more core strength in order to make this happen? I don't know. I don't know you, but I suspect you don't. I suspect you've got it within you. You ride a lot of miles. You're in shape. I think you have the core strength to execute this flawlessly. This can be worked during a 20-minute interval. This can be worked throughout a long ride. And when you get better at it, you'll notice you can hold it for longer and longer. Now, a note on bike fit, because I think it deserves to be said. If you're a serious cyclist, you've got to be confident in your fit. So if you haven't had a fit in a while, or you're not confident in your fit, that is a first step. But it's not just about bike fit, because even with a perfect bike fit, you can still position the body in a way that is not optimal. Even on a bad bike fit, you can position the body in a way that it's a little bit better. But if that bike doesn't fit you, it's going to cause problems. So if you need to go get a bike fit, go do that. You can still work on this, but you got to go get that bike fit. So rant over there. I think I've made my point. Ultimately, my goal here was to show you how you can position the body for better mechanics in your pedal stroke and to authentically and automatically engage the core. Once you've gone out and tried it, come back here, drop me a comment. If there's something that you're really struggling with, you can drop that in the comments too. I'd be happy to try to help you out. If you're looking for structure to help to solve a back pain problem, that is what I do. That is how I help cyclists. I'll link my calendar down below. You can book a call with me. We can talk through the issue. My main thing there is to make sure that I understand the details clearly. If I'm confident I can help, and we think we've got a good mutual fit going both ways, we can talk about what a plan would look like. But ultimately, this is something that I believe you can start applying immediately. You don't need to talk to me to be able to do it. That said, if there are some of those mechanical issues under the surface, under the hood, right? Getting under the hood and working on those in a way that carries over onto the bike is going to make this strategy rocket fuel. If you got something minor going on, or it's just a matter of performance, feeling comfortable on the bike, this video alone probably helps you. That said, if you want to talk about something a little bit more serious, links down below in the description. Be happy to talk to you. Get out there, ride your miles, get control of your position, play around with it. Let me know how it goes, and we'll talk soon.